Hi, my name is Vincent, and in this video, I want to make the most complete guide you will ever find on how to use Waalaxy. So you will see how to connect your LinkedIn and email accounts to Waalaxy, how to use the Waalaxy Chrome extension, how to find B2B leads with the verified emails, how to import these leads directly in Waalaxy, and finally, I will show you how to launch an outreach campaign where you send cold emails and LinkedIn messages. So if you follow this process step by step, you will be able to send LinkedIn messages and cold emails, and I'm sure that it will help you to generate some leads for your business. So let's start. Alright, so the first step is to create a free account on Waalaxy. And if you want to get the best free trial available, you just need to click the first link in the description. And then once you've clicked the link in the description, you will be on this page. And now all you need to do is to click here on the top right of your screen on Start for free. Then you need to connect your LinkedIn account. So for that, you click here on Continue with LinkedIn. And here you need to give the email and the password of your LinkedIn account. Then we click on Sign In. As you can see, I have access to my Waalaxy account. And now the first step is to install the Chrome extension. So for that, you see that I have a button here, Go to Chrome Store, because you don't have Waalaxy's Chrome extension. So I just need to click on Go to Chrome Store. Then I click on Add to Chrome and then Add Extension. And now you see that I have the Waalaxy's Chrome extension. So let's go back on Waalaxy. So here on the left, you see all the features that you can use on Waalaxy. Here in Home, for example, you have your analytics. So for example, you have the number of messages you sent on LinkedIn. Here you have the number of cold emails you sent. And of course, you have your response rate. So this page is useful if you want to monitor your outreach campaigns, and I strongly recommend you to check that almost every day. Now, if we go here in prospects, here on the left, we can create a lead list. And on the right, you see that we have a button import, and this is how you can import leads in Waalaxy. But don't worry, I will show you that in details in a few minutes. Then you have campaigns. So this is basically where you create and manage your campaigns. Then you have inbox. So with this feature, you don't waste your time to go on LinkedIn and check if you have a reply from a lead, because you can see that in this inbox feature. And of course, what's very interesting is that you can reply to your leads directly in Waalaxy. Then you have this feature team. So with this feature, you can easily manage all the LinkedIn accounts of your sales team, for example. So if you manage multiple LinkedIn accounts for your outreach, you can do that on Waalaxy with this feature. Now, if I go here on the bottom left of my screen, you see settings. And here, basically, you can manage all your settings. So the first thing I recommend you to do is to verify if your LinkedIn account is well connected. So for that, you go here in a LinkedIn account, and here you see that my LinkedIn account is well connected. Now that I know that my LinkedIn account is well connected, I want to connect an email account. And why I do that, it's because I want to do multi-channel outreach. So in the same sequence, I want to send cold emails and LinkedIn messages. And so for that, of course, I need to connect an email account. So I go here in email accounts. And now here in accounts, I need to add an email address. So I click here. On this pop-up, we have the choice on how to connect our email address. So with Google, Outlook, or with another provider. For this tutorial, I will sign in with Google. But if you want to see how to get Google mailboxes at the best price for cold emails, of course, I've made a complete tutorial on that. So if you are interested, you just need to click on the top right of your screen. So I click on Sign in with Google. Then I select the email account I want to use. So let's say this one. Select what Waalaxy can access. So I select all. Then I click on Continue. And now you see that my email address is now connected with Waalaxy. If you want to connect multiple email addresses, you just need to click on Add and repeat the process. Then I recommend you to set up a signature. So it's basically a signature that you will get every time at the end of each email you send. So if you want to create a signature, you click on this button. Then you give a name for your signature. So let's say Vincent. And now we need to write our signature. So I like to write Vincent, so first name from the company name. So in my case, Give Me Leads. So Vincent from Give Me Leads. Here, make sure that you don't have any HTML in your signature. So no links, no images, or no GIF, because it will hurt your deliverability. Then you click on Save. And now we have our signature, and you will see later in the video how to use it in your email. All right, so now that we've connected an email account to Waalaxy and that the signature is set up, we need to go here in Account Activity. And here, basically, you can choose when you want to send your cold emails or LinkedIn messages. So the first thing you can modify is the time zone. And it's not your time zone, but the time zone of your leads. For example, I'm based in Paris, but if I want to reach out to people based in the US, I will use a US time zone. So let's say for this tutorial that I want to reach out to people based in the US, and so for that, I use this time zone, so America, New York. Then you can select the days you want to send your cold emails and LinkedIn messages. So I recommend you to put from Monday to Friday, like this. And here you see that I can modify the time. So I recommend you to send your messages from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. like this. Then if I scroll, you see that we can modify our daily quota. For example, you can modify the number of connection requests you send per day. So 100 is perfect. But here for email, very important, make sure that you don't send more than 30 cold emails per inbox, because if you send more cold emails, you will be in the spam folder of your leads. So that's why 30 is perfect. And finally, the last setting I want to show you is in integrations. And here, basically, you can connect your CRM to Waalaxy. So for example, you have HubSpot, Pipedrive, or no CRM. All right, so at this point, you've created your free account on Waalaxy. And I hope that you've used the link in the description to get the best free trial available. Then you've connected your LinkedIn and email accounts to Waalaxy, and all your settings are well set up. So now it's time to find some leads to be able to send your first LinkedIn and cold emails messages. So if you want to find and import some leads directly in Waalaxy, you need to go here in Prospects. Then you click here and you create a lead list. So for that, I click on this button, Add List. And here I need to give a name for my list. So what I like to do when I need to give a name for a lead list is to use the filters that I've used to identify my leads. So let's say for this tutorial that I want to target people who are head of sales in the US and in a company headcount between 500 to 1,000 people. Then I click here, and now you see that we have a lead list. And now the next step is to find some leads. So for that, you go here and you go on Import. And here you see that you have many options. So you can import leads from a free LinkedIn search, from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, from a CSV file, from a LinkedIn group, LinkedIn event, Save Search, or from a lead list. For this tutorial, I want to show you how to find leads from a LinkedIn search, from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and from people who reacted to a LinkedIn post. So let's start with a LinkedIn search. And now you see that I'm redirected to LinkedIn. So on this page, I can do a free LinkedIn search. And here on top, you see that I have some filters I can use to identify my best leads. And here I have the results. On each page, you have 10 results, and you can have up to 100 pages, so it means that you have up to 1000 leads. So let's add some filters by clicking here on all filters. And here you see the filters I can use to find some leads. For example, you have the locations. So let's say that I want to target people based in the US. Then you can select their current company. You have past company, school, industry, profile language, open to, service categories. And here, and that's probably the most important part, you have keywords. And here you can write the job title. So for example, if I want to target people who are head of sales, I type head of sales, and then I click on show results. And now you see that I have people who are head of sales in the US. So that's perfect. But of course, because it's a LinkedIn free search, I don't have all the filters I want. For example, I don't have the company headcount filters. So it's a bit problematic, but at least it's free. So once you've done your free search on LinkedIn, all you need to do is to click here. So it's from the Waalaxy Chrome extension. So you click on this button. Then you see here import prospects from this search. So that's what we want. Then we say that we want to import these leads into the list I've just created. So head of sales in the US, but I don't have the company headcount filters. But let's say for now it's okay. And now here I can give the number of leads I want to import. So let's say just for this tutorial 50, and then we click on import. And now the export is currently running. All right, so as you can see, my export is done. So here on this page, I have my list of leads from my free LinkedIn search. So I have the name, the job title, company name, and actually that's all. On top, you see the number of leads I have in this list, so 50. And here I've just renamed my lead list and remove the company headcount filter because with a free LinkedIn search, we can't filter the company headcount. So it's only people who are head of sales in the US, and this lead list comes from a LinkedIn search. Now, before I show you how to export leads from a LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I just want to show you something. So when you export your leads from LinkedIn and even from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you will get some bad results. So between 10% to 30% of your leads will not perfectly match all your filters. So here, for example, you know that I've made a search where I target people with the current job title, head of sales, and we have many people in this list who are not head of sales. For example, here we have producer, we have business development specialist, we have sales manager, and if I scroll, you see that many people are not head of sales. Yeah, for example, here we have someone who is customer success manager. So before creating your campaign, I strongly recommend you to double check your leads from a LinkedIn search because you don't want to reach out to people who are customer success manager when you want to try to reach out to people who are head of sales. So if you want to remove someone from your lead list, very easy. So you select the lead and then on top you click on delete and we confirm. Perfect. Now let's see how to import leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator into Waalaxy. So for that, I will create a new lead list. So for that, I click on add list. Then I give a name for my list. So this time I want to target people who are head of sales in the US. So the same target, but this time because I use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I have access to the company headcount filter. And that's why I want to target companies with a headcount between 500 to 1,000 people. So let's create this list. And I just want to add Sales Navigator at the end. And now if I refresh, you see the name of my new list. So head of sales in the US in a company headcount between 500 to 1,000 people. And the leads come from LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So now I click on import and then import via LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I'm currently on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's basically an access to the LinkedIn database. Of course, it's a paid plan. Here on the left, you see all the filters I can use to identify my best leads. And on the right here, I will get the results, so the leads. So let's say that I want to target people who are head of sales. So the filter current job title, I type head of sales. Then I click on include. The company headcount is between 500 to 1,000 people. And the last filter I want to use is geography. So I want to target people based in the US. So I include United States here, perfect. And now here on the right, you see our list of leads. So if I scroll, you see that we have people who are head of sales, head of sales, head of sales in the US. So that's what we want. On top, you see the number of leads we have from this search. So we have a bit more than 700 people. And now if you want to export these people, you have this Waalaxy button. So you click on it. Here we select the list. So this one, because at the end I have Sales Navigator. Then we can give the number of leads we want to export. So let's say 100. And then we click on import. And now we just need to wait a few minutes. So after like 10 minutes, my export is done. And now you see in my lead list that I have 100 leads. And if I scroll, you see that I have people who are head of sales, but many people actually are not exactly head of sales. For example, head of employer sales, not head of sales. If I scroll, area sales manager. So sales manager, it's a big problem because maybe that this person is not a decision maker. Head sales enablement, advisory board member. Here I just found something interesting. Founding member, sales mastermind network. So not head of sales. Head of partnership sales. Same, it's not very head of sales. And we asked for head of sales in a LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And now the problem is that we don't have the email addresses of these leads. So if we want to send cold emails, we can't do that. And that's why if you only want to reach out to people who perfectly match all your filters and you want to get the verified emails of your leads when you export leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I recommend you to use Give Me Leads. So if you want to try this tool to export your list of leads, you can go on givemeleads.io or you have a link in the description. Then you click on Start for free, you create your account and you install the Chrome extension. And then on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you will get this button, Extract Leads. So this time when you want to export your list of leads, you click on Extract Leads. Then you will be redirected to your Give Me Leads account. Here you can give the number of leads you want to export. So let's say 100. And what's interesting is that you can have the email addresses of your leads. Then we click on Export Leads. And now we just need to wait a few minutes. All right, so my export is done. And now if I want to see my list of leads, I just need to click on Download CSV. So here is my list of leads. And if I scroll, you see that I have 100 leads, which is perfect. On top, you see that you have all the information you need to reach out to these people. For example, you have the first name, last name, LinkedIn URL. You have, of course, the verified emails of your leads. And when it's verified, it means that it's completely safe for your email account to send an email to these people. Then you have the job title, location, and actually much more information. So for example, you have the company name, company website, company location, and so on. So what's interesting when you export your leads with Give Me Leads is that first you have clean data. So for the first name, last name, and company name, you don't have any problems with capital letters or with rocket emoji in the first name. And the second thing we do is to check for each lead if the lead perfectly matches all your filters or not. So we do that with these two columns, so matches filters and invalid reason. So when it's true here, it means that the lead perfectly matches all your filters. But when it's false, it means that the lead doesn't match all your filters. So for example, here we have wrong job title. And if we check the job title, we have head of partner sales or head of enterprise sales. And here we have head of fleet sales. So basically, it's not someone who is head of sales. So with this feature, you don't waste your time to check if your leads perfectly match all your filters or not, because Give Me Leads does that for you. And at the end, you can decide to either keep the lead or just decide to remove it. So once you've exported your leads with Give Me Leads, the next step is to go on Waalaxy. So for the name of my lead list, I've just added Give Me Leads at the end. And this time I click on Import. And I don't click on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but I click on Import CSV file. Then here we just make sure that we import our leads in the right lead list. And now I need to upload my list of leads on my computer on Waalaxy. On this page, we need to map the data from our list of leads with the Waalaxy variables. So for example, first name with first name, last name with last name, and so on. And make sure that you import the emails of your leads. Then we click on Next, and then I click on Import. And now I just need to wait a few seconds. All right, so as you can see, I've imported 100 leads. And here we can see the number of emails we get from these people. So for that, I click here on More Filters. And then I can say that I want to only see people with an email. So has an email, I click on Apply. And here we only have people with an email address. So from Give Me Leads. And you see on top that I have 85 leads with an email address. So if you want to easily export your leads from a LinkedIn Sales Navigator, get clean data, and of course, to get the verified emails of your leads, you can go on givemeleads.io or you have a link in the description. So that being said, the last workflow I want to show you is how to import leads who've reacted or commented on a post on LinkedIn. So I've just found a post on LinkedIn. So it's basically a lead magnet post where people need to comment to get something. So it's about Reddit. And let's say, for example, that we target people who are interested by Reddit. So these people who reacted or commented to this post might be very interesting for us. So if you want to export these people, you just need to click here on reacted or commented. So if you want only people who reacted, like giving a like, support, love, and so on, you click on reacted. And if you want to get the list of all the people who commented this post, you just need to click here on commented. And you see that we have almost 300 people who commented on this post. So for this tutorial, let's say that I only want people who reacted. So we have 75. So all I need to do is to click on reacted. And then we have the same process. So import prospects who reacted to this post. Then I need to create a new list. So the name is Reddit Reactions. Click on Create. And now I click on Import. Now on Waalaxy, you see that I have my lead list, Reddit Reactions. And here I have the list of the leads who reacted to the LinkedIn post. So you see that with Waalaxy, you have a lot of options to find and import leads. And once you have some leads in Waalaxy, the next step is to reach out to these people. So for that, we need to go back on Waalaxy. And here we go in campaigns. On this page, if you want to create a new campaign, you click here on Start a Campaign. And then I click on All Campaign Models. Here you have the choice. So I recommend to use the filters on the left. So here, for example, you can choose your channel. For example, you can say that you only want to reach out to your leads on LinkedIn, or you can say you only want emails. Or in my case, for this tutorial, I want to do both. So I want to send emails and LinkedIn messages. In the middle of my screen, you see that we have many options. But what I want to do for this tutorial is to send a connection request. Then I want to send 2 LinkedIn messages. So 1 LinkedIn message to pitch my offer and 1 follow-up. and then I want to send one cold email. So for that, I need to find something interesting for me. So this one is perfect. Invitation plus 2 messages plus email. I want to use this one. So I click on go with this one. And now we need to give a name for our campaign. As always, I recommend you to use the filters you've used to find your leads. So in my case, you know that I target people who are head of sales in the US, in a company headcount between 500 to 1,000 people. Then I click on next. How do you want to add your prospects from a list that I've just created? So it's this one, head of sales in the US with a company headcount between 500 to 1,000 people. And I want the export from Give Me Leads because I want the email addresses of my leads. So I select this one. Then do you want to add all the prospects from this list? Yes. Now this is the first step of our sequence. So we want to send a connection request without a knot. And why without a knot? It's because I will get a better acceptance rate without a knot. So add a knot, no continue. Then we can edit the delay after the invitation. So I wait 1 day, then I click on next. And now you see that I can write my first LinkedIn message. So here I like to write hi, first name. So if you want to use the first name variable, you just need to click here. So insert a variable, then first name. Then let's say that I want to promote my SaaS Give Me Leads. So for that, I will just ask a very simple question. Do you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to build your list of leads? So I like to ask a very simple question. So it's easy to understand and easy to reply because it's either a yes or a no. Now, if you want to have a preview of your message, you just need to click here on preview. And here you see that the message is not too long, so that's perfect. Here at the bottom, you have some more interesting features. For example, you can include an emoji, not very useful. You can add an image, add an attachment, for example, a PDF. You can add a GIF, or you can record a voice note. So you see with these features that you have many options to stand out from all the people who only send text messages. Then once you are happy with your message, you click on confirm. Now we have a delay between the first message and the follow-up. So for that, I like to wait 2 days. I click on next. And now here is my first follow-up on LinkedIn. Now for the follow-up, I like to keep it very simple, like quick follow-up. And what you can do is to record a voice note. So you click here and you say, for example, hi, it's Vincent. It's just a quick follow-up. I was wondering if you saw my message. And actually, that's it. You will get more replies by sending a voice note like this one, for example. And that's perfect for our LinkedIn messages. So we click here on confirm. Now we wait 3 days before sending our first cold email. So I click on next. And this time I send an email. So I no longer send LinkedIn messages, but I send a cold email. So when you send a cold email, it's a bit different compared to a LinkedIn message because you need to write a subject and then the body of your email. So subject leads from LinkedIn. And then the email is almost the same as the first LinkedIn message. So hi, first name. So I click here on insert a variable, then first name. So for example, do you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to build your list of leads? Now, because it's a cold email, we have to be very cautious about the deliverability. And that's why I strongly recommend you to write only text and do not include any emoji, any images, and so on in your cold emails because it will hurt your deliverability. So let's keep things very simple, and you will be in the inbox folder of your leads, and you want to avoid, of course, to be in the spam folder of your leads. Then here you can select your signature. So it's my signature, so Vincent. And if you want to get a preview, you click here on preview and test. So here you say, hi James, do you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to build your list of leads? And I have my signature at the end, Vincent from Give Me Leads. If you want, you can send a test email, but in my case, I don't need that. And here on the top right of my screen, you can send with which email you want to send this cold email. So in my case, I've just connected one email account to Waalaxy, but if you have multiple email accounts in Waalaxy, of course, you can select them all to be able to send more volume to your leads. Finally, we click on Confirm, and here you have a recap of your sequence. So what I recommend to do is to double check your messages. For example, here is my first LinkedIn message, my follow-up, and my email. And once you are ready to start your campaign, you just need to click here on Launch My Campaign. All right, so as you can see, my campaign is currently running. Now you have a recap here of your leads. Now, of course, if you want to edit your campaign, you can click here on Edit, and you can edit your campaign. So for example, if you want to modify a message, you can do that by clicking here on Edit My Campaign. If you want, you can add some leads to this campaign, or you can pause your campaign. Now, if I click on Analytics, I will get all my analytics. For example, the number of LinkedIn messages I've sent, the number of emails sent, and what's very interesting to track is, of course, the reply rate. This time, when you go back in campaigns, you see that my campaign is currently running. Now that we've launched an outreach campaign, we just need to wait between a few minutes to a few hours to get our first replies. And now I want to show you an interesting feature to manage your replies directly in Waalaxy. So for that, we need to go back on my computer, and the feature I want to show you is this one, Inbox feature. So you click on Inbox and you will be on this page. On the left, you have all your discussions from your LinkedIn account. And if you click on someone, for example, myself, you will get the details of the discussion with the lead. So with this feature, you can see your replies. And what's interesting is that you can reply to your leads directly on Waalaxy. For example, here, I just type message from Waalaxy. Then I click on this button, and this message from Waalaxy will be sent on LinkedIn. So if you don't want to waste your time to go on LinkedIn to check if you have a reply, on Waalaxy you can manage all of that. And what's very interesting is that you can tag your leads. For example, if someone is interested, you can create a tag. So for that, I've already created a tag called interested. But for example, what we can do is to create a new tag. For example, hot lead. So I create a new tag, and now you see that I have a new tag, hot lead. So I recommend to have hot lead for the leads who are very interested. For the leads who are okay, interested, but not that much, you can use interested. You can have a tag wrong timing, when it's not the right time to reach out to these people. And of course, don't forget to follow up these people. And you can have a tag not interested. So I've created 3 more tags. So we have wrong timing, not interested, hot lead, and interested. For example, here we can say interested. And now what's good is that you have this button here. And if you click on it, you can apply some filters to your inbox. And here you can say, okay, I only want to see people who are hot lead and interested. Then you click on apply. And here you will get the list of all the people with these tags. So interested and hot lead. So with this tagging system, you don't waste your time on people who are not interested, and you can focus on people who are interested by your product and services. And of course, you can easily follow up these leads, which is of course very important if you want to close more deals. And this is why I think that Waalaxy has the best inbox feature on the market. So this is the end of this tutorial. Now, as I told you, if you want to try Waalaxy for free, you have a link in the description. If you want to easily export your leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get their verified emails, you can try Give Me Leads for free. and you have a link in the description as well. And now, if you want to see a complete beginner-friendly tutorial on how to find leads using LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you can click somewhere on the screen. It was Vincent. I wish you a nice day, and I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.